Welcome back, Srinivasan Jain here, joining in the rolling coverage of the unfolding crisis for the Congress in Rajasthan. My colleague Sanket Upadhyay is also here, and of course we have with us Tehseen Poonawala, supports the Congress, and Radhika Khera of the Congress as well. Sanket, this is turning out to be one of those all-night humdingers.
Absolutely, and one doesn't know when this night is going. It's raat ki subah nahi.
It's raat ki subah nahi.
That's sort of a crisis.
No. We started at 7 o'clock. We started with the premise: CLP will meet, one-line resolution will be passed. This is the line that the Congress was putting out, that Ashok Gehlot will create a little bit of a flutter, but otherwise it will all go according to script. But now we're hitting close to midnight, and as you said, it's raat ki subah nahi.
But can I say something? That means you got your script wrong. So you're going to get your script wrong again. The consistency is not there. So Radhika was right actually in the earlier segment. You've been getting your script wrong.
We have not got our script wrong. The Congress has got
you
a
said,
script
look,
wrong.
We thought it was a one-line resolution. We put it out.
This is what the Congress was telling us.
There will be a one-line resolution.
This is what the Congress was telling us, Baba.
There will still be a one-line resolution. You guys are reading too much into it.
Did you know that the MLAs will rebel? Were you aware?
There is no rebellion. Sanket bhai, there is no rebellion. Achha, I'll ask you one thing. I've never been invited.
This is a next level, Tehseen, even by your standards. This is next level spin. There is no rebellion.
There is no rebellion. But I've never been invited on NDTV when Gadkari ji was kicked out. Tata, bye-bye, 1.5 men didn't like him. Shivraj Singh Chauhan kicked out. Himanta Biswa Sharma and between the earlier Chief Minister, they could not decide for days who's going to be the Chief Minister. Never been invited.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Point now is to come back to the unfolding story, Sanket. So, Sanket, as we just saw the latest updates you put out, help us understand that. What is there now an attempt to try to diffuse this with the MLAs saying that we were misled and the High Command saying we'll listen to each MLA? What exactly is the current picture?
I think the current picture is this. In the evening, these are MLAs who very clearly thought that there will be a CLP meeting in that Congress Legislature Party meeting, which is a meeting of all the MLAs.
Right.
As you rightly said, Mr. Ashok Gehlot is going to basically express his views, and then the central observers will expect that the MLAs will essentially pass a one-line resolution that we authorize the central leadership to take a decision, which, by the way, happens in all CLP meetings.
Correct.
Technically, it's the MLAs who choose their chief minister, but whether it is the BJP or the Congress, they authorize the senior, because it's a mandate in law. You can't ask anyone. Nobody else can take that decision unless this formality is completed. So the expectation was that this formality will be completed. But do remember, the Congress was attempting to complete this formality in Mr. Ashok Gehlot's state. And I'm trying to repeat this again, as we've been saying for the past 3 hours. This is the Ashok Gehlot who, along with Ahmed Patel, ensured that Operation Kamal does not dislodge Ahmed Patel in the 2017 Rajya Sabha elections. Vasu, I'm sure you must be aware of what happened. The Congress has started losing MLAs one after the other to Operation Kamal. Mr. Ashok Gehlot sat on a bus, took these MLAs to Bangalore, then took them to various other places, got them back on polling day. He saved his own government in 2020 when Operation Kamal was at play. And now, for his MLAs to be told that perhaps there will be a new chief minister as Mr. Ashok Gehlot will be elevated, it did not augur well. We've been repeating this over and over again. To expect that these MLAs acted of their own volition in some sort of an emotional outpouring will be extremely naive on the part of the Congress party. This is nothing but Mr. Ashok Gehlot's anger or emotion manifesting itself in the form of his MLAs to show that he continues to have the support of so many MLAs. It's a pressure group that he has built on the central leadership, which the central leadership is not happy about. But the point is, now that this is out in the open, late into the night, what decision will this leadership take? I think Mr. Ashok Gehlot clearly expects and wants that as he contests the position for the Congress president, there should be a quote-unquote more pliable chief minister in Rajasthan, someone which would be more to his liking. And certainly not Mr. Sachin Pilot, who he infamously called Nikamma and Nakara in 2020.
So it's a kind of interestingly poised situation. We'll just get Harsha also up in Jaipur, our colleague Harsha Kumari Singh for an update. But it does appear now that the Congress is now trying to regain some kind of control over the situation. But Radhika Khera, of course, Tehseen is saying there's no crisis. But isn't there any way this could have been avoided?
There is no crisis. I've been saying that for the past 1 hour.
Okay.
There is no crisis. The government is not following. That is not happening at all. Emotions always do come out, and the CLP meeting was planned, and they came out a little before that. And the MLAs got together and decided what they want to do. That's okay. But yes, it could have been a little better. They could have avoided going to the media. That is what I feel personally, that everything can be solved inside the house. We don't need to go out to the media. But sometimes our emotions hum pe havi ho jate, and that's probably what happened. But rest assured, the government is not falling. There is no crisis. There is no infighting. It is just the MLAs voicing their opinion, because I don't know what was going to happen. And first of all, there is no script. There is no script at all. And in the end, even then, it is the decision of the High Command. Everyone will give their views, and then it is on the president to decide what has to be done. And the president will take the decision based on what opinion the MLAs and other leaders have given.
Radhika, the thing is, that is all, I'm saying that is all what was supposed to happen. But the fact that you have 70, 80 MLAs gather at another location, the CLP has effectively collapsed. There has been no Congress legislation. The MLA, the meeting was supposed to happen at 7. We're at midnight, there is no meeting. The MLAs have threatened mass resignation. I mean, it is a crisis. How can you go on saying there's no crisis?
It is not a crisis. They've threatened mass resignation. They've just given their views. They've all said it. And there are some MLAs who've come out and given a bite, and your channel is just saying that this is our opinion, and now it is the decision of the president.
All right,
they have left the final decision to the Congress president.
Okay, let's get
that is what the MLAs have said on record.
Okay, let's Sanket.
We
have Harsha Kumari. Yeah, 1 second, Tehseen. We have our colleague Harsha Kumari Singh on the phone line with us. Harsha, what's the latest?
So, well, Vasu, the Congress MLAs who are their claim is they're about 90 plus in number. They are all sitting put in CP Joshi's residence right now where we are. And of these, about 4 of them have been called to now meet Mr. Venugopal, Mr. Kharge, Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, who are in the Chief Minister's residence, which is about a half a kilometer away. So you have Pratap Singh Khacharyawaz, you have Shanti Dhariwal, you have Anjana, and you have you have Sayam Lodha, who's one of the, and Mahesh Joshi, so one independent, and Sayam Lodha is also advisor to this. Okay. And they've gone in to meet the High Command, and the High Command, High Command and the Central Observers, who are meeting them, giving them a hearing, and apparently now the roadmap ahead seems to be that the people who've come as Central Observers will meet all these MLAs. When they will do that, we're not very sure. They could probably take up the meeting tomorrow, understand what the MLAs want, and then go forward from there. There's also one section of the party which is putting out a theory that perhaps Mr. Shanti Dhariwal should not have, as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, he should not have called all the MLAs to his residence. In fact, he should have made sure they all reached Myanmar at 7 o'clock, which he didn't, which led to this standoff. So that seems to be a face-saving exercise, Vasu, but let's see how that plays out now.
No, but just to understand, Harsha, and Sanket also jump in as and when, that what is all this leading up to? This was meant to be, as per the Congress, essentially Ashok Gehlot's swan song, where he tells the MLAs, look, I am now moving to Delhi to try and take on the role of president, I will not be CM, etc. CLP authorizes somebody, the president to take a call, and that was supposed to be Sachin Pilot. Now, is this heading towards a situation where Ashok Gehlot will not quit as CM, may perhaps opt out of the presidency altogether, or is the view that now Gehlot will have his way in terms of having some other CM candidate, someone that he may be more partial to, not Sachin Pilot. Which of these two scenarios, Harsha, do you see as like in terms of what you're picking up is emerging?
Well, you know, Vasu, to see this kind of, I mean, this really is a full-scale, turnaround, really, so to speak. Now, we always were getting the sense that Mr. Gehlot was very reluctant to give up Rajasthan, and he was even more reluctant to hand over to Sachin Pilot. Now, Ashok Gehlot is somebody who nurses. I mean, he's not someone who forgives and forgets in politics. That's how he's always been. So, for him to hand over to Sachin Pilot, I think was just unacceptable. We are given to understand that he conveyed this at different times. He has conveyed this.
No, but what I'm trying to get a sense of is that is Mr. Gehlot still trying to remain Chief Minister, or is he now basically trying to use this MLA quote-unquote revolt to say, make somebody of my choice the CM?
Well, I think the latter, because, the fact that he will run for Congress president, that's one question. In fact, I was also asking Sanket that what does this mean? Does it mean that he's out of the race now? But I think what he's really prepping for is the fact that the reins are handed over to someone else. That was the other option, that he realized that he has to stand for Congress president, but he does not want to hand over to Mr. Pilot. And this whole revolt or this is engineered to give the reins to someone of his choice.
His choice. Okay. Sanket, also our colleague Arvind Gunasekar is with us. He's been tracking, what's been coming out of the Congress High Command. Arvind, what's the sense you're getting from Congress HQ? How taken aback are they by all this, and how are they planning to now diffuse this crisis?
Well, so the Congress leadership was cautious of this particular issue. They did see that there would be some kind of a rebellion against Sachin Pilot because of what all happened in 2021 when there was a failed coup to bring down the government of Ashok Gehlot. They did see this coming, and that's why they sent two senior leaders, Mallikarjuna Kharge and Ajay Maken, as observers for this CLP meeting. But the Congress leadership did not see this coming. In fact, the rebellion that what we are seeing in Rajasthan, the extent of the magnitude of this rebellion is something that the Congress leadership didn't see this coming. In fact, they thought that all the MLAs will be coming for the CLP meeting, and then the MLAs will be making their own views. In fact, raising arguments or raising points against Sachin Pilot, etc. Something that the party sensed. But this is something that the leadership didn't see this coming, and that's why now what they are saying is that what they are trying to do is they are trying to use same Ashok Gehlot to bring all this MLAs who are rebelling now to the table so that there can be some kind of a discussion here. So that's why they have asked Ashok Gehlot to speak to all the senior ministers, including Shanti Dariwal, so that all the rebel MLAs can come for the CLP meeting, so that the observers can get the views of the MLAs.
Okay, but Arvind, at the end of the day, the way the High Command was looking at it is that this would still be Mr. Gehlot bidding farewell as CM, and that then, ultimately he would be replaced by Sachin Pilot. Is the High Command now realizing that that may not happen? They may have to look at other scenarios. Or are they still confident that it will be Pilot, all the earlier script?
Also, they are still very confident about Ashok Gehlot. I'm not sure whether they are still confident about Sachin Pilot with the numbers less than 20 MLAs with Sachin Pilot. Not sure that the Congress leadership will be confident on Sachin Pilot, but they are still very confident and very positive with Ashok Gehlot. They are still saying that Ashok Gehlot will handle this situation also, because he is the master of doing this. So he would be speaking to the MLAs. He would be like pacifying all those.
But Arvind, I'm asking a different question. Are they confident that Ashok Gehlot will step down as CM and run for president, Congress president?
That's they are sure. That Ashok Gehlot will file nomination 27th or 28th. That's for sure. That Ashok Gehlot himself has agreed that he would be resigning as chief minister, and then he would be.
Okay, they're sure of that. All right.
Sure.
No.
The issue is Rajasthan.
Yeah,
who will be replacing Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan is something that they have left it to.
Vasu,
that's something that's playing out in Rajasthan.
Arvind is very right when he says that.
Okay.
Ashok Gehlot realizing that this dual position he cannot hold anymore, and I think he has conceded to this, and this we widely reported also. The thing is, as Arvind said, who replaces Ashok Gehlot?
Right.
I guess the crisis over here today was on the name of Mr. Sachin Pilot.
No. So that's what. So Sanket, I agree with you. That's what I'm trying to understand from Arvind, because earlier the High Command had indicated that Sachin Pilot was getting their blessing. What I'm trying, Arvind is still with us. Is he still with us?
Yeah, Vasu. Yeah.
Arvind, that's the question Sanket and I were trying. So is the High Command now accepting, okay, fine, part one is okay, Gehlot will resign as CM and he will run for president. But is the High Command now accepting that perhaps they will not be able to anoint Sachin Pilot as a successor? They may have to now start looking at other options.
Was the MLAs, almost 80 odd MLAs have made their message clear that they are not in support of Sachin Pilot, and that's what we are seeing there.
Right.
So what they want to do now is to get the views from the MLAs. So if not Sachin Pilot, then who else? That's something a very important question, because Ashok Gehlot, according to our sources in his meeting with the Congress leadership, Ashok Gehlot proposed the name of CP Joshi. That's one name that was proposed by Ashok Gehlot himself, according to our top sources in Congress.
Okay.
Party.
Okay.
So who are the other contenders against Sachin Pilot? So those are the names that the Congress party will be looking at. And also 2023, it's not just about surveying, it's not just about saving this government for 1 year. There is also an election for Rajasthan in 2023.
Yeah, of course.
Has to be prepared for 2023 election also. That's why Congress is saying that everything has to be kept, the future
okay.
should be
So
kept
that is okay. Thanks very much indeed, Arvind. We'll come back to you. So Sanket, that is then the big takeaway, that Gehlot may go, he may go as CM, but he has through this managed to ensure that the Congress now has to seriously look at perhaps a Gehlot endorsed or someone who's likely to be more a kind of a Gehlot candidate than Pilot.
Exactly. That is what the negotiation here is.
Yeah.
Simple. He has agreed to the fact that fine, you don't want me to hold this dual charge. Agreed. But then please do not have Mr. Sachin Pilot over there.
Okay.
And now there is this emotional pitch. And that's what I was trying to say. Pratap Singh Khachariawas and others are very openly saying, how can you have a person at the helm who was conspiring against your own party
part of the rebellion?
Right. Exactly.
So,
he was there in a resort in Haryana, enjoying the largesse and was luxuriating on BJP money. These are the things that are being spoken about in Jaipur.
Right. So at least, that is what this whole kind of drama has managed to achieve as far as Ashok Gehlot is concerned. Sunil Prabhu, our colleague, is also with us. Sanket, who's been tracking the Congress High Command's response. Sunil, what are you picking up on how the Congress High Command is now responding to this unfolding crisis?
Well, Srinivasan, they have been always very, very clear right from day one about how it should be followed, and they have followed that same principle. We have, of course, been saying that Mr. Sachin Pilot is the candidate and various other points. But for the Gandhis and in particular the High Command, they have been very categorical. And I don't know where we have got that news from, but it's very, very clear from the Congress Party High Command that 2 or 3 issues were very clear. One was Mr. Karge and Mr. Makran were to be there and to ascertain the views of the MLAs. Second, that they would definitely find out what exactly had happened. As Mr. Sanket was pointing out, there have been serious issues and concerns about various issues that have taken place post just before the pandemic and post after that, after the Rajya Sabha elections, and where the government nearly lost. There was a rebellion that had taken place, and all those factors have been taken into account for. In no less than Congress President at that time, interim Congress President Sonia Gandhi, had taken serious action in removing the then Congress President, Mr. Sachin Pilot, appointing a new person. There were sedition charges. There was a whole history of what had happened. And it's in that backdrop that everything has to be taken into account. The Congress Party will definitely keep in account all the MLAs, their views have to be ascertained before taking a decision. Nothing is going to be done in a hurry. It has to be done with...
Sure, but Sunil, the point is the MLAs would not have reacted like this unless they didn't get a sense that the High Command had already sort of decided it will be Pilot, right? That's why the reaction.
I don't know whether where the High Command has already decided and where this impression has been given. This was always part of somewhere down the line. Mr. Ashok Gehlot had always made it clear that he would want his person to be appointed. he had always, and as you are well aware, Mr. Sachin Pilot did not have the support of too many MLAs within the party.
Sure.
And that is the reason why he didn't become the chief minister in the first place. After being the PCC chief and subsequently Rahul Gandhi being the helm of affairs. So I don't want to get into the intra-Congress party politics, but from the high command point of view, they definitely want to ascertain the views of the MLAs, and they're still waiting for that.
Okay.
Despite
so now
various channels saying what they have, the fact of the matter is that the Congress party wants to ascertain the views of the MLAs.
Okay, wants to ascertain the views of the MLAs. Right, Sunil, thanks very much indeed for joining us. PK Nambiar joining us as well, supports BJP. So, Sanket, just your quick take now on this, that now from saying that almost, that this idea that they are going to endorse Pilot, now it may now end up being somebody else. It could be a CP Joshi, whoever it is. So
here are the probables,
so that's the,
this is what Harsha told us just a short while ago. So just compiled what she said earlier. So if not Sachin Pilot, then who? Who will be acceptable to, number one, Mr. Gehlot, and number two, the MLAs. So one can be this, Mr. CP Joshi, who's the speaker right now, where all the MLAs are.
Sure.
He is a Gehlot loyalist and is also an assembly speaker.
Yeah.
Right? Which is where a bulk of these MLAs are. Number two is Mr. Govind Singh Dotatsra. Remember when Sachin Pilot led a rebellion in 2020?
Yeah.
When he was PCC chief. At that time, when he was dislodged from that position, Mr. Dotatsra was made the state Congress chief. He's a very prominent Jat leader.
Right.
And there is every possibility that this will be acceptable to Ashok Gehlot.
Right.
Right? Who's in the running to be the next Congress president.
Correct.
And the third is an extremely low profile Congress leader, again a Gehlot loyalist, called Mr. B.D. Kalla.
Right.
B.D. Kalla is also Gehlot loyalist, stays extremely low profile. So these are the names of the three probables, if not Sachin Pilot.
If not Pilot, then it would be these people. PK Nambiar, BJP waiting, watching, striking.
No, by the way, Vasu, I hope you know what Bhupendra Yadav, who's also from Rajasthan,
yes,
what he ended up saying today.
I saw his tweet.
Said,
yes.
Pehle Congress jod lo. Then think of Bharat.
Bharat jodo. Later, first Congress jodo.
But
how much, PKD, how much is the BJP behind all this today that we are seeing?
I don't know whether why do we want to bring the BJP in it when somebody has already in a self-destruction mode?
No, because it was not unheard of to see the BJP's presence and role in some of these situations. So
you have a special fascination for BJP to put everywhere, so it's fine. But I think
BJP had no role in Goa, BJP had no role in Manipur, BJP had no role in Karnataka. This is all our imagination.
See, 11:45 today, I think we should discuss in this night only about Rajasthan. Let me tell you about the Rajasthan. It's very unfortunate. It is, forget about the typical...
That's the Bhupendra Yadav tweet, by the way. That Sanket was referring to. Sorry.
Yeah. And by the way, I would also like to add, my mistake, Bhupendra Yadav is from Haryana, not Rajasthan.
I wanted to correct it, but anyway.
It's Mr. Dhankar who's from Rajasthan. I got them messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying it's very unfortunate things which are happening in Rajasthan. It is on the one side that Rahul Gandhi is trying to jodo. Forget about the Bharat Jodo. At least he is trying to jodo the Congress. And the president in waiting of the Congress party is creating chaos in his own backyard. So it's very, very such a messy situation. In anyhow, either the Gehlot split the party or the Sachin Pilot split the party. It's going to happen that the Congress in Rajasthan is going to split. Now, who will split and who will move out, who will stay in, and who will become the chief minister, that's definitely the role of Congress party and its legislators or the high command to take a decision. But what is the kind of message it is giving it to the people, the public? As I said, like 11:45 in the night, we are not discussing anything positive about the Congress. I personally always feel as a
Okay, Radhika Khera and Tehseen respond to that.
I would like to respond,
Yeah, go ahead.
My friend PKD very concerned about the Congress, and he says, what kind of message are we giving? And I want to repeat the point I made earlier on. We have never discussed, I don't know, at least I've never been called to discuss why in Assam, Himanta Biswa Sharma and Sonowal ji for 20 days did not form the government, and who Himanta Biswa Sharma was in touch with, and what he threatened and to join which political party was he not
No, but
chief minister.
Tessin,
We have never discussed.
two wrongs
That's
or
not
two
possible.
crises do not make a right. No, I mean,
But one
on the
crisis
point
is
of
never discussed,
Rajasthan.
right at 11:45 in the night. One crisis. Let me finish. One crisis is never discussed at 11:45 in the night. For 20 days in Assam, if a sitting chief minister is kicked out, that's called master stroke and Chanakya Niti. That's unfortunately the reality of our times that we live in. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying when we say 11:45, we should not be discussing it. That's because 11:45 Assam is never discussed. That's the reality of the time we live in. Let's come to Rajasthan. Let's come to Rajasthan. Let me just come. You all made one claim on this channel, and I verified that KC Venugopal spoke to Ashok Gehlot. KC Venugopal has clarified he did not speak to Ashok Gehlot. Again, all of these scripts that are coming out are all scripts that I don't know where are they coming out from. These are people's imagination. Let me put this on record.
Tehseen, apart from the nitty-gritties of whether A spoke to B, the wider question is that you have yet another unfolding crisis in a Congress-run state. I think that is the point.
I want to ask one question to Sachin.
PKD, there is no crisis. The party is united in a democratic way. They will select the new chief minister, which will be ratified by the interim president. That's the Congress constitution. That's how it works. 1.5 men don't decide. That's how it works.
Srinivasan, just give us
one second. Radhika Kera also wants to come in. I'll come back to you, PKD. Yes, Radhika.
I can understand one BJP loyalist, because they're so used to this. Today, Modi ji doesn't like one person's face. Off with his head, he will not be chief minister anymore. There is no discussion. There is no room for discussion. There is no discussion in the Bharatiya Janata Party who will their president be. Now, I don't know where these rumors came from that the Congress president has decided that the chief minister of Rajasthan will be Sachin Pilot ji. There is no decision like that has been taken. Nobody has decided, or nor has the Congress party ever said that so and so is going to be our chief minister. Is there an official statement? Has any leader come out and said that? Can you show me one tweet where anyone has said that Sachin Pilot ji will be the chief minister? So I did not speak.
Radhika Khera, then do you feel?
No, one second.
Khera, then do you feel that the Congress party failed to communicate this to its own MLAs? Your MLAs are on record to say that we will not accept anyone who conspired against our own party to become the chief minister. In other words, Mr. Sachin Pilot. So did you fail to communicate this point to your own MLAs?
Sanket, for the past 1 hour 46 minutes, you and I have been on this show right now, and I've been maintaining that from the beginning. That it is going to be a very long night, and इस रात की सुबह होगी ये भी पक्का है.
You've been keeping time very specifically, Radhika.
1 hour 46 minutes.
Why exactly?
अभी वो
We thought time was flying, but no, you're keeping time very close.
There is no crisis. 1 hour 56 minutes in the midnight we are discussing.
So there is no crisis. Let me.
crisis.
No, I know there is where the crisis is in the country, where the country is being divided in terms of religion, in terms of caste, in terms of monetary issues. The country there is.
No, but 1 second. No, Radhika, 1 second. In all fairness,
we are also discussing this.
Let's be
this up is because we are discussing
jokes apart. I think
jokes he talked about.
No, 1 second. Jokes apart, I think Sanket's point, you may have addressed this earlier also, but the fact is that you would not have such an explosion of MLAs coming out and saying all this were it not for the fact that they perceived that there was going to be a leadership change and Pilot was going to be the person. Otherwise, why would they be on the road like this? Right. So
everybody watches television. I'm sure many must have seen your channel also. A script was being read out saying कि ये होने वाला. Everybody had a script except for us.
But I'm saying MLAs would not go by what they're seeing on a channel, right? They would obviously.
That's what let me complete. Let me get to that. So now the thing is that there are emotions. We are human beings. We are not robots from the Bharatiya Janata Party. जो high command कहेगी, जो Modi ji कहेंगे, that will happen. We are human beings. We are a family. We have our emotions. and we are free to choose who our leader will be. Simple. And that is, the emotions came out. We have to respect the leader's emotions as well. And that is why, and they have specifically said, or most of the MLAs have come out, and I saw the bite here only because I've been, like I said, I've been on the show since forever now. So they are saying this, okay, this is what our decision is, this is what we feel. But the final decision is of the Congress president. She will take the final call. And I will again repeat myself. The Congress President, Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji, will take each and every view into consideration. That is why each and every MLA is being spoken to. If their opinion did not matter, we would not be sitting all night. Over 90 MLAs, at least 10 minutes each. It's going to be a very, very long night. So if we are taking every MLA's
going to be taken tonight.
One information, Vasu, one information that I would like to share. Please. Our colleague Uma Shankar Singh, who's deployed outside. By the way, I worked in Rajasthan, so I know the lay of the land as far as the political addresses are concerned.
Sure.
The Speaker's house, Vasundhara Raje's house, and Ashok Gehlot's house are all on one lane, one road.
Correct.
Okay. So Shanti Dhariwal, Mahesh Joshi, Pratap Singh Khachariawas, and Sayyam Lodha, who are the representatives for these 92 MLAs.
Correct.
Have finished their meeting with Ashok Gehlot and the central observers.
Okay.
Sachin Pilot is believed to be inside the same house.
Right.
And they finished their meeting, and now they're all back at the Speaker's residence.
Okay.
They've all come back to the Speaker's residence. So that's the one development that has happened.
Okay. So basically the quote-unquote rebel or whatever you want to call it, MLAs, who are upset with all what is this thing, they have conveyed their views to the central leaders and to Ashok Gehlot, and now they are back, and now we'll have to wait and see, I mean, what is it that they said and how the central leadership or the high command is going to
interesting to
approach this.
Perhaps speak to Harsha Kumari Singh. She'll have more information on what these
so
MLAs have said.
She's on the line with us.
Harsha's on the phone,
Harsha, so what's the latest?
Well, as of now, we've just seen these MLAs who had been called to the Chief Minister's residence have just come back. And obviously, they've come back with some kind of a message from the Chief Minister and the Central Party observers who are there, and Mr. Pilot, in fact, who are there at the Chief Minister's residence right now for that meeting. So they have come back, and we are just waiting and watching to see actually what message it is that they're carrying inside. Because we were told that perhaps the Chief Minister would also be coming here to the Speaker's residence, but that's not happening, and it's clearly that these, people who went to meet the Chief Ministers have come back, probably with the message that the Central Party observers will be meeting all the MLAs one-to-one, and they'll take it from there and make a night of it. That's what we are hoping. But let's see. That's what we're hoping, that it will now resume in the morning.
Okay, all right. So the kind of the envoys or the interlocutors for the MLAs, the unhappy MLAs have met the central observers, they have met Ashok Gehlot. How Sanket is now going to play out? I guess what we are trying to look at is this consultation going to happen all night? Radhika Khera seems to indicate it's going to be an all night thing.
Well, can I just...
Or will they postpone it for the morning and then pick up the whole threads again in the morning? That is what we'll have to wait and see. But Sanket, it's interesting going back to this whole idea that, where did this come from, that Pilot was determined, who said this, how is it all? Because if you were talking to, those who are tracking the High Command's response to all this, they had made it clear, Sanket, that all these rumors that there'll be some Gehlot-backed candidate and all that was all rubbish. There's no such thing. In their mind, script was clear. It was going to be a one-line resolution. It was going to be Gehlot making his farewell, and in a few days anointing Pilot. So that is, that was something which was very clear down the line, which is exactly why the question you also asked, we've all been asking. That's why the MLAs reacted like this, because they knew what was on the mind, how it was all scripted.
And again, to say, I just feel Radhika Khera says that, they must have seen, we have no script. They must have seen what is being reported in the media. I just feel that these are MLAs, they're not so naive to just believe something. There is obviously a larger design, a larger strategy.
No, but
And they perhaps realize that this is an inevitability.
And I'm saying
the Congress leadership also to think that they'll be able to enforce this.
No, and I'm very.
By the way, Vasu, all the telltale signs were there. Mr. Gehlot wanted to retain both positions. He was then told you can't do that.
Correct.
And then after that, today a CLP meeting was supposed to happen where there was a greater sense that Sachin Pilot is going to come back.
Correct.
Why else do you think MLAs will go on record to say that those who conspired against the party in 2020
will not be allowed back,
given in charge, or cannot be made in charge of the party in 2022?
No, I'm saying it's very flat.
Media reports.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's very flattering if all of this is being ascribed to media and we're getting so much importance in terms of shaping the course of events. But obviously, there's more to it than that. But we'll come back to this. I know, Tehseen, you also want to jump in. We'll just take a short break and come back with more. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV as we track the unfolding crisis for the Congress in Rajasthan, where what was expected to be a smooth transition of power has turned into a full-blown political theatre with a large number of MLAs of the Congress party basically quote-unquote rebelling against the attempt by the High Command to ask Mr. Gehlot to step aside, file his nomination for president and appoint someone who they believed was the High Command's choice, which was Sachin Pilot. Now that script has gone awry, and as my colleague Sanket Upadhyay is here with me tracking, now it appears to be hunkering in for one of those long all-night type of scenarios, with the Congress now grappling with this new reality of how they're going to handle this unfolding crisis, Sanket.
That's right, Vasu. And for the benefit of our viewers, let's quickly tell them and give them a summary of the past few hours of what has happened. So there was supposed to be this Congress legislature party meeting at 7 p.m. on Sunday. This got postponed to 7:30, then to 8. And by 8 o'clock, it was very clear that a CLP meeting is not happening. In fact, a senior Congress MLA, Mr. Shanti Dhariwal, at his residence, as many as 92 Congress MLAs assembled, and they decided that they are not going to agree or accept any proposal of Sachin Pilot being made the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. Now, the Congress High Command, namely namely Sonia Gandhi as well as Rahul Gandhi, never named Sachin Pilot as the chief. But yes, while all of that was happening, the MLAs basically thought that we need to preempt this move and act swiftly. They then decided that they are going to sit in a bus and move to the Speaker's residence, and 92 of those MLAs basically wanted to resign, give their resignation to the Speaker. While all of this was happening, it was very clear that this is not a rebellion, but a discomfort in Rajasthan.
Right.
Now, while all of this was happening, Mr. Ashok Gehlot was in his residence with Sachin Pilot and the central observers. And then eventually, through the course of this drama, while these MLAs reached Mr. C.P. Joshi, the Rajasthan Speaker's residence, these central observers started calling some of these MLAs over for consultation. Now we are hearing that the central leadership, which is upset about the turn of events, it wants to meet these MLAs and try to understand what they feel. Exactly.
Absolutely. And in fact, Sanket, we have with us both Harsha Kumari Singh, our colleague in Jaipur, and Arvind Gunasekar, who's been tracking what's been happening here in Delhi. So let's just go across first to Harsha. So Harsha, basically, it seems to be now getting into that situation where it could be an all-nighter. You're reporting that some of these Congress MLAs are heading back, perhaps home, and then again regathering for this process of the Congress High Command, their observers taking their views. Okay. Harsha Kumari Singh, we'll just come back to you. Arvind Gunasekar is with us. So,
CP Joshi's house, and there's a lot of
right, Harsha is there. Yes, go ahead, Harsha.
As MLAs, Vasu, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's a lot of chaos and confusion happening outside, CP Joshi's house, because the MLAs are coming out in their cars and the police is trying to control the crowd. But just to give you a sense of what's happening here, well, we have spoken to a few MLAs and we've been told actually that they're all going home. And that's what they've told us. And they've not been called. In fact, they're not going to the Chief Minister's residence. They're all going home. And the meeting will resume later. Now, when it will resume, we're not sure. Some MLAs have told us that actually the meeting is not going to happen till the Congress president elections are over. So we don't know if they're going to be called tomorrow by Central Party observers, or it's going to be, the stage will be set for a later date. But as of now, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any further meetings. And actually, I think from whatever the MLAs have told us, a lot of them coming out, that they're all going home.
Okay, interesting. The MLAs are going home according to the MLAs on the ground, but Arvind Gunasekar is with us.
So very quickly, if you allow me,
yes.
Can we ask Harsha whether
Yes.
these MLAs have submitted their resignation or not? Because there are conflicting views on this. Have they submitted their resignation or not, Harsha?
Oh. Okay.
Well, they sat with CP Joshi for a very long time. So it definitely looks like they went there saying that they would like to resign, but actually whether they physically submitted the resignation and whether he accepted it or not, I don't think that has formally happened. Because remember, this is clearly a pressure tactic. So the idea is not to resign and then have the government fall. The idea is to pressurize the High Command into listening to them. So, this whole thing of resigning, it's not formally happened. It's more the fact that they went there with the aim of resigning, conveyed that decision to CP Joshi, and then waited it out till the meeting carried on at the Chief Minister's residence, just about half a kilometer away.
Okay. Arvind Gunasekar, as we start to wind up on this for at least for this part of the night, what are you hearing, Arvind, about the High Command and how they are seeing this play out?
Vasu, both the observers, both Mallikarjuna Kharge and also Ajay Maken, both of them have conveyed what all they witnessed in Rajasthan to the Congress leadership, and what we are being told is that Congress leadership still they believe that the CLP meeting will be convened and the views of all the MLAs will be sought and the resolution will be passed as per their plan, as per their original plan, and they are still maintaining that there is no threat to the government, there is no rebellion whatsoever. Some miscommunication has happened and they are reaching out to the MLAs and the CLP meeting will be convened. In fact, they asked the same question, whether the CLP meeting will be convened today itself. Source told us that the CLP meeting will be convened immediately. All the MLAs will be, their views will be sought and then the resolution will be passed as per their plan. So they also have a timeline because they want this Rajasthan Chief Ministership, the issue to be sorted out before Ashok Gehlot files his nomination. So they don't have long time, they don't have a lengthy rope to sort the issue of Rajasthan, and that's why they want to sort the issue of Rajasthan as early as possible, because Ashok Gehlot is expected to file his nomination for the Congress president on 27th or 28th. Before he files his nomination as for the Congress president, the Congress High Command has taken a decision that he cannot remain as the Chief Minister, because that is, in a way, that will look as if that he is influencing the elections, because there are also PCC delegates from Rajasthan, and that's why, in order to ensure a free and fair election, both the candidates, both Shashi Tharoor and Ashok Gehlot, both of them, they are filing the nomination. Then Ashok Gehlot cannot remain as Chief Minister, and that's why they convened the CLP meeting. So as per their timeline, they want to maintain their timeline. So what we are being told is that CLP meeting will be convened very soon or immediately. That's the exact words we were told. Immediately CLP meeting will be convened, and then the views of the MLAs will be sought, and then the resolution will be passed as per their plan.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's been, thanks Arvind, I think that's been the problem, that right from the beginning, Sanket, the Congress High Command has assumed that this will play out to a certain script, but at every step that has not turned out to be the case. So again, this idea that they'll have a late night meeting of the MLAs and try to resolve this overnight, etc. We just heard Harsha saying the MLAs are hearing something else. They're all going home and for them, it's sort
in
of
fact,
wrapped
Harsha
up
is
for the
reporting
night.
something even more interesting, Vasu. Some of these MLAs.
Yes, sorry, yes,
Yeah,
Harsha.
Harsha is there. Yes, Harsha.
MLAs are apparently, we are being given to understand that the MLAs are apparently not going to take part in any CLP meeting tonight. So they are not, playing along with that script. So the High Command perhaps wants to have that CLP meeting, but they have said that they're going home and they're not going to take part in any CLP.
Harsha, can you confirm? Harsha, can you confirm if some of these MLAs have told the central leaders that please postpone the decision of having a new Congress Chief Minister for Rajasthan till such time that the Congress chooses who the president is going to be? That basically take this decision after the CP elections.
Yes, that's exactly what the MLAs here want. In fact, they don't want any CLP meeting, anything to happen till the 19th of October. They have not gone towards the Chief Minister.
This is major.
They have all got into their cars and gone home in different directions. We are right here. And yes, they have. A section of these people have conveyed what you're saying, Sanket, that they don't want any kind of a CLP meeting. In fact, at least not tonight and definitely not till the 19th of
Vasu, I think this is a very important point that Harsha is telling us. Basically, the MLAs have said, you postpone the decision on who the Rajasthan Chief Minister is going to be till such time that the Congress President elections take place.
Yes.
Let those elections take place and then come to the problem of Rajasthan.
But as Arvind was pointing out, that's a huge conflict of interest because Gehlot will be both Chief Minister and candidate, and Rajasthan also will be voting in the elections. So that's I think they were trying to bypass that. But if they find this huge pushback, how will they deal with it? These are all important questions. But let's just take quick closing comments from our two panelists before we wrap up this segment. Quick comments, Tehseen, from you. How do you see this ending? Very briefly.
There is zero crisis. Media is overreacting. This is a simple democratic process where MLAs have come together and they will voice their opinion. There was supposed to be no CLP meeting right now in the night. So I think your journalist Harsha has got that wrong. It is anyway scheduled for tomorrow. There's nothing right now in the night. I can guarantee you that.
All right. PKD?
I think it's too late for anything to say. One thing I can say that the Congress president in waiting is already said very clearly now, given a message that he may not be listening to the Gandhis if what is happening today is true. One. Number two, if this is going the way the Congress president in waiting is going to conduct himself, the Congress, then the sinking ship is going, the speed of sinking is going to be much more faster. But the only thing, one of the biggest mistake what all these people are doing not to the Congress alone, to this country. I am always an opinion that we need to have a strong opposition, and Congress is an ideal strong opposition nationally. And if they are doing a crime to themselves, I think it's time for them to come together and create a party. And don't deny this, Tehseen, forever, because you are one of the bravest guy who speaks the truth about the Congress. And at least today you say that there is a crisis.
All right.
There is no solution as of now.
Okay.
No crisis.
No. Okay, fine.
Good night.
All right. Okay. All right, gentlemen, let's see how this plays out. But for the moment, it does turn out to be a night of long knives for the Congress. Let's see how it all unfolds. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, and we'll continue with all the other big news on NDTV.